What if the divine you search for is not a distant goal, but your own essence? Could it be that you're not separate from the infinite, but an integral part of it? These questions, dear seekers, form the heart of an ancient truth. Let us begin with Buddha. One day, Buddha was sitting under the Bodhi tree. Yes, the very tree where he had attained enlightenment. The shade of the tree provided a serene atmosphere, and Buddha's presence radiated a profound stillness. A man came to him and asked, "What are you? Are you a god? Are you an angel? Or are you a human being?" Buddha looked into the eyes of the questioner and smiled. He said, "I am awake." Dear seekers, the answer is subtle, simple, yet immensely profound. In that one sentence, Buddha was not saying that he was something otherworldly. He was saying that he had seen through the illusion of separation. He had realized the truth, Tat Tvam Asi, that the divine, the eternal, the limitless consciousness is not separate from us. It is not something far away in the heavens. It is our very essence. Think of the moon and its reflection in a pond. The moon appears to be in the water, but it is not. The water is reflecting what has always been there in the vastness of the sky. We are like that pond. Our minds are reflecting the divine consciousness, but we mistakenly think that it is something else, something separate, something beyond us. This happens because we get caught up in the ripples, which are nothing but our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. And this is why we fail to see the true essence of who we are beyond this body mind complex. Just as the moon remains untouched by the ripples of the pond, our true nature remains untouched by the disturbances of the mind. The Upanishads and the teachings of the Buddha are simply pointing out this mistake, which is that you are that moon. You're not the reflection. You are the real thing. A Zen master once asked his disciple, "Who are you before your parents were born?" It was not an intellectual question, it was a koan. It was a device to awaken the disciple to his divine, infinite nature. We have become so attached to our identity, to our name, to our form, to our mind, and to our past that we have forgotten the timeless, eternal essence of who we really are. This question is a doorway to look beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond all that changes. The Zen master was pointing to the same truth, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that which is beyond birth and death, beyond all names and forms. When Buddha attained enlightenment, he did not become anything new. He simply realized what he already was, what he had always been. He did not gain something. Rather, he lost all that was false, all the ideas, all the conditioning, all the notions of who he thought he was. This shedding of the false is the true meaning of Tat Tvam Asi. You're not separate from existence. You're not the ego. You're not this bundle of thoughts and desires. You're not a drop in the ocean. Rather, you are the entire ocean in a drop. Imagine a wave in the ocean. The wave rises, dances in the sunlight, and then falls back into the ocean. During its short journey, the wave might think, I am separate, I am unique. But the truth is that the wave is always the ocean. It is never separate, never different. Its essence, its substance, its very being is oceanic. The wave and the ocean are one and the same. In the same way, we are waves in the ocean of existence. We may rise, we may fall, but we are never separate from the whole. Just as the wave's journey can feel individual and unique, our lives too can feel separate, but deep down, we are always connected to the greater whole. In our daily lives, we often feel isolated, as if our struggles and joys are ours alone. But when we look deeper, we realize that we are all part of the same ocean, interconnected and united. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that ocean, not just the wave. A disciple once came to a Zen master and asked, how can I become enlightened? The master smiled and said, you are already enlightened. You only have to realize it. The disciple was confused and said, if I am already enlightened, why do I not feel it? The master took the disciple to a well and asked him to look into the water. When the disciple looked, the surface was disturbed and his reflection was unclear. The master said, this is your mind, always disturbed, always in turmoil. When the mind becomes still, you will see clearly. In that moment, the disciple understood. The disturbance was not in his being, it was in his mind. And in that stillness, the words Tat Tvam Asi took root. The disciple realized that what he was searching for was not outside of him, it was his own true nature. We often get lost in our search for truth. We travel far and wide looking for answers in scriptures, in philosophies, in rituals, in distant lands. But the truth of Tat Tvam Asi is not somewhere out there, it is within you. The greatest journey you can take is the journey within. To sit in silence, to watch your thoughts, to see how they rise and dissolve, and to realize that you are the space in which all these thoughts come and go. You're not the mind, you're not the body, you are the awareness that witnesses them. This realization, dear seekers, is the essence of all spiritual teachings. You see, the divine is not something that can be reached by effort because you cannot become what you already are. The effort lies not in achieving but in removing the ignorance that blinds you. We are like someone searching for their glasses, not realizing that they are already on their face. We search for God, we search for enlightenment, we search for bliss as if it is something hidden, as if it is something far away. But the truth is that it is nearer than near. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. You are the seeker and you are the sought. The moment this realization dawns, the search ends. The seeker disappears and only the truth remains. Imagine being in a dark room, looking for a light switch. You fumble, you stumble, you knock things over, trying to find the switch. Your hands reach out in the darkness, feeling for something familiar, something that will end the confusion. And then suddenly, you realize that the light is already on, and it was only your eyes that were closed. In that moment, everything becomes clear, and the fear of the darkness vanishes. There is a profound sense of relief, a wave of warmth that washes over you as you understand that the darkness was never real. This is the state we are in. We search for enlightenment as if it is something hidden, something that needs to be found. But Tat Tvam Asi tells us that the light is already on. You are already that which you are seeking. You only need to open your eyes and see. The journey towards realizing Tat Tvam Asi is a process of unlearning. It is about dropping all the false identifications, all the masks we wear, all the beliefs we have accumulated about ourselves. It is about coming face to face with the pure, unconditioned self. And this process, dear seekers, can be terrifying because we are so used to our mask. We are so used to our stories about who we are. To drop them means to enter into the unknown, to face the vastness of existence without any labels, without any boundaries. This is why many people are afraid of enlightenment. It is not because enlightenment is difficult, it is because we are afraid of losing our identity. We are afraid of losing the comfort of the known. But the irony is that in losing the false, we gain the real. In losing the ego, we discover the divine. In losing our small self, we find our true self, which is infinite, eternal, and one with the entire cosmos. This is the beauty of Tat Tvam Asi. It is not a teaching, it is a mirror. When you truly look into it, you see yourself. Not the small self, not the ego, but the infinite, the eternal, and the divine. And in that seeing, there is a great laughter, a great freedom. You realize that you've always been that which you are seeking. You are existence itself, you are consciousness itself, you are bliss itself. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. And once you realize this, how can you ever be afraid? How can you ever feel lonely? How can you ever feel incomplete? The entire cosmos lives within you. You're not a part of the universe. The universe is a part of you. Buddha walked in this understanding. Zen masters lived in this understanding, and they invite you to walk the same path. Not to become something different, but to become yourself. To realize in the deepest core of your being that Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. Dear seekers, the invitation is open. The truth is waiting. Just drop the illusion of separation and see for yourself. The divine is not elsewhere, it is in your breath, in your heart, in your very being. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. Close your eyes and look within. Feel the life force pulsating in your body. Feel the breath moving in and out. Feel the stillness that underlies all movement. This stillness, this aliveness, this consciousness, this is what you are. You are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, and you are not your sensations. You are the awareness that witnesses them. You are that which remains when everything else falls away. You are the silence behind all sound. You are the space in which all forms arise and dissolve. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. Can you feel the depth of this truth, dear seekers? What if you truly lived each moment knowing this? The sages, the Buddhas, the enlightened ones have all walked this path and realized this truth. They've all seen through the illusion of separation and awakened to their true nature. And they all say the same thing, that you're not separate, you're not limited, that you're not bound. You are infinite, you are eternal, and you are one with all that is. This is the message of Tat Tvam Asi. It is not a message for the mind to understand. It is a truth for the heart to realize. So, let this truth sink in, meditate on it, reflect on it, and most importantly, live it. Let your actions, your words, your thoughts all come from the understanding that you are not separate, that you are one with all that is. What if in every moment you remembered this truth and allowed it to transform your entire experience of life? When you live from this place, life becomes intense. It becomes a celebration. There is no fear, no anxiety, no struggle, but only the joy of being, the joy of knowing that Tat Tvam Asi, you are that.